Okay, let's talk about document storage a little bit. We have a lot of great information out there available for people to answer all their questions, but part of the problem is that some of it is in emails, some of it's in a handbook document, some of it's on Facebook, and it's hard to find what you're looking for sometimes unless you know exactly where to look. So this is what I propose to do to streamline that. Right now, a lot of our documents are stored on the ministry page or on the Facebook page or other group pages under the Files tab. And each group probably has a long list of files, and some of them are repeated in the different groups. They've got the same file in multiple groups. One other issue is that the files, like this one of links, is a whole bunch of different stuff. Here's the code for the Proverbs 31 discount at the store, and then you've got information about Pinterest, and then you've got future studies, past studies, old stuff. This needs to be divided up into separate files, and we'll talk about that. But there's just a lot of information in these files, and there's lots of files, and some of them may or may not really even apply anymore. So we need to clean some of this up. So what I propose to do with this is back on our Google Drive. I've got several folders made, and then within each folder would be information that falls under that topic. So under general information, I have that helpful links file, which I haven't divided up yet, but just shown, using it as an example. I have the calendar that Lisa sends out every once in a while. So I haven't formatted it with all the colors that she formats it with, but we can fix that. But this would allow Lisa to come in and update that information in one place, and then people would have a link to this document and be able to come in and look at it and update it. So, or not, they couldn't update it, but they could look at it and know that it was the most up-to-date calendar without having to dig through their email and wonder, did they have the most up-to-date calendar or not. So the way that we would share these, all of these links are set to be shared by anyone or viewed by anyone with the link. So the way that we would get those links out to everyone, I made a fake little group here so that I could show you how I would do that. But here in this little fake communications testing group, under the Files tab, I have several documents. The title of the documents is the same as the title of the folders on the Google Drive. And so then they could click here on this title for general information. And if they want to find the OBS calendar, they could click here to the calendar, and it would bring up the calendar from the drive. And that makes it again, Lisa can update the calendar in one place, and anytime anyone wants to look at it, they can go and look at it and know they're looking at the most up-to-date calendar. The other thing that I would suggest that we do is here under Facebook Group Leader Tools, here under the OBS Leadership Handbook, I've put the entire handbook, but I really suggest that we take this handbook and we make a separate file for each one of the sections, and then we update it and put anything else that has to do with that section all together in the same file. So for example, you've got a section in here for the group leader log, which when you come down to page 10, it's the file that you use to to keep track of your hours, but there's nothing right around it for sure that tells you how to keep track of your hours. That is over here in the ministry page under something that says volunteer hours. So I suggest that we just take things and group them together so that all the information about a single topic is all together, and you can click on one place to get the information about that one topic. So so again, we would have in the files of the ministry page, you would have documents, and those documents would be lists of links, and those links would go back to documents stored on the Google Drive. The other good thing about this is that if there are common documents that, things we would put for everybody on the ministry, but then just to make it handy, somebody wants to have it on their Facebook group page, like verse mapping. Say the Facebook group leaders want it on their page, and the Real Life in the Gap study wants it on their page, because we both use it a lot. So you could, instead of putting the document there, you could put the link to the verse mapping document that's stored on the Google Drive, and everybody is going back to that same original document. So as we update it or change it or add more to it, everybody always has the link to the most up-to-date document. And so the other thing, so yeah, here also on this files page, one of the documents would be for the weekly digest, and we would put the links to each week's weekly digest and keep 3 or 4 weeks worth there, so that people could always refer back to those as they need to. So I think that's it. That's the 3 main things I think we need to implement pretty quickly for our communication plan. Would be the leadership team activities, so we can all share what we're doing. The weekly digest, so that everyone on the team is getting consistent information, but they're not getting bombarded with lots of emails and posts during the week. They get it all at one time, unless it's really super urgent. And then cleaning up our documents and making our filing system more descriptive and more specific, so that people can find the information they want on their own without having to post on Facebook, hey, what's the code for getting the discount at the Proverbs 31 store. So hope you guys have had a chance to look at this, and then give me any comments or feedback, and we'll talk about how to go forward from here. Thanks.